start with our prayers. Sri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahano Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Asato ma Sadgamaya Tamaso ma Jyotirgamaya Mrityurma Amritam Gamaya Aviravirmayedhi. Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Akhandam Satchidanandam Avang Manasagocharam Atmanam Akhiladharam Asraye Bhishta Siddhai. May we be protected, may we be nourished, may we strive with energy and vigor, may our study be enlightening and not give rise to hostility. Om peace, peace, peace. Lead us to truth and not to untruth. Lead us to enlightenment and not ignorance. Lead us to immortality and not death. Let the self-manifest Atman grow in me. Om peace, peace, peace. I take refuge in the self, the individual, the existence, consciousness, bliss absolute, beyond the reach of words and thought, in the substratum of all, for the attainment of my cherished desire. So we are studying Vedantasara or Vedantasara, the gist of Vedas, Vedanta philosophy, especially Advaita Vedanta, non-dual. So Sri Ramakrishna used to say, my nature is like woman. This is Sri Ramakrishna. So, what is that? So he said, I don't want to be only one tracked. I want to enjoy all kinds of things. So he would give example, like somebody likes fish curry, fish pilau, kalia, and various dishes, even sweet and sour. So Sri Ramakrishna liked various ways to taste the divine. Now what is the relationship with this? So we talk about devotion. But many times we don't understand what is devotion. So some intellectual developments also should be there. Right? So Sri Ramakrishna, if you read Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna, most of the time he would talk about devotion. Because that time householder devotees would come and general people. So for them, he used to talk about devotion. Devotion is good. It is for us also, for everyone. Not that we are made somewhere else, in the other side of the moon. So, devotion is good. But what we see, Swami Vivekananda introduced, especially cultivation of Vedanta. Because otherwise we'll lose this avenue. Say here, most of the time we find people are afraid of cultivating, or say mathematics, afraid of mathematics. But mathematics, it teaches you logical thinking. It's a wonderful way. So what is the point? Point is, we should not limit ourselves with one thing only. Let us enjoy in various ways, as Ramakrishna enjoyed. So even I'll tell you, I'll read a little, and then you have to decipher what he's saying. And then I'll tell you why I'm saying all these things. Let me tell you a very secret experience. Once I had entered the wood near the pine grove and was sitting there when I had a vision of something like the hidden door of a chamber. I could not see the inside of the chamber. I tried to bore a hole in the door with a nail knife, but did not succeed. As I bored, the earth fell back into the hole and filled it. Then suddenly I made a very big opening. Uttering these words, the master remained silent. After a time, he said, "These are very profound words. I feel as if someone were pressing my mouth. I have seen with my own eyes that God dwells in all. I saw him once in the um, so the universe is conscious on account of the consciousness of God. Sometimes I find that this consciousness wriggles about as it were even in a small fish." Now, what he could understand, I mean, the head and tail of it. So we need to understand what he is saying. And it is not that we don't understand. Like a child says, "No, no, no, I have not taken." But you know that he has taken. A thief says, "I have not stolen." But you know he has stolen, he is lying. How you know? Advertisement. Lots of times, lots of advertisements come. They say something, but you know that those words are to be taken with a little pinch of salt. What is the point? Point is we speak. So each word has a meaning. Like, bring me a glass of water. Bring is a, there is a word, it has meaning. Uh, Glass of water, every word has meaning. So it is called Shabdartha. Shabdartha means word meaning. Next comes Vakyartha. So you understand what is bring, what you I understand a glass of water said just now I took. So immediately you'll go, "Yes, yes, Swami, I am going to drink." So this the all the word meaning is translated into Vakyartha or Vachyartha. What is being said? Like what Sri Ramakrishna said. We cannot make head and tail until unless we cultivate. So one is Shabdartha means word meaning. Second is Vachyartha or Vakyartha means whatever is being said. But one thing is Lakshartha. Like a thief said that I have not stolen. But you know that he is lying. How you know? You have some power of implying something. So one is implied meaning, and one is intuitive understanding. Then there is no meaning. So word meaning, then sentence meaning, then implied meaning. Something is being said, and then intuitive realization. So this is very important. We are in that section where we'll take one word, tat, that, tvam, you, asi, you are that. So this simple thing, it will discuss various relationship and then implied meaning. By implied meaning, one has to realize intuitively. What Sri Ramakrishna said, it has implied meaning. It has every word has meaning. Every word has meaning. Every word has meaning. And then a collective, oh, this is the. But what is indicating? So we have to decipher that. We have to figure it out. What is the meaning of that? what Sri Ramakrishna is saying. And then comes realization. It is immediate. Like, like we say jokes. So if I say a joke, so Australia and New Zealand, they are competitors. So they went to heaven, and both have done something wrong. So he said, okay, you'll be punished 10 lashes, and you also 10. Maybe 100, maybe just, this is a story. So Australia said, okay, but you can use one help, like lifeline. So first New Zealanders said, yes, please bind a pillow behind my back. So lifeline is. So 100 lashes he poured over that. And then came the Australian number. So he said, yes, please tie that New Zealander on my back. Okay. So in a joke, there is a pun point. That gives you little joy. Why? Because the narration is such that in the beginning it is built up. And then you experience. Because you understand the implied meaning and you experience. So this is very important. So tat tvam asi, 3 words. You are that. Or aham brahma asmi. So these 3 words, we have to understand right meaning of it. Then comes the implied meaning. And through implied meaning, one can realize it. This is very important. Okay. So before we start, we have some reading. We continue. This is preamble, okay? To make a little, interesting. Yes. David?
Yes, Swami.
Yes, go ahead.
We often hear that as one of the features of evolution that it eliminates evil. And this evil being continually eliminated from the world, at last only good will remain. That is very nice to hear, and it panders to the vanity of those who have enough of this world's goods, who have not had a hard struggle to face every day, and are not being crushed under the wheel of this so-called evolution. It is very good and comforting indeed to such fortunate ones. The common herd may suffer, but they do not care. Let them die. They are of no consequence. Very good, yet this argument is fallacious from beginning to end. It takes for granted, in the first place, that manifested good and evil in this world are 2 absolute realities. In the second place, it makes a still worse assumption that the amount of good is an increasing quantity and the amount of evil is a decreasing quantity. So if evil is being eliminated in this way, by what they call evolution, there will come a time when all this evil will be eliminated and what remains will be all good. Very easy to say, but can it be proved that evil is a lessening quality? Take, for instance, the man who lives in a forest, who does not know how to cultivate the mind, cannot read a book, has not heard of such a thing as writing. If he is severely wounded, he is soon all right again, while we die if we get a scratch. Machines are making things cheap, making for progress and evolution. But millions are crushed, that one may become rich. While one becomes rich, thousands at the same time become poorer and poorer. And whole masses of human beings are made slaves. That way it is going on. The animal man lives in the senses. If he does not get enough to eat, he is miserable. Or if something happens to his body, he is miserable. In the senses, both his misery and his happiness begin and end. As soon as this man progresses, as soon as his horizon of happiness increases, his horizon of unhappiness increases proportionately. The man in the forest does not know what it is to be jealous, to be in the law courts, to pay taxes, to be blamed by society, to be ruled over day and night by the most tremendous tyranny that human diabolism ever invented, which pries into the secrets of every human heart. He does not know how man becomes 1,000 times more diabolical than any other animal, with all his vain knowledge and with all his pride. Thus it is that, as we emerge out of the senses, we develop higher powers of enjoyment, and at the same time, we have to develop higher powers of suffering, too. The nerves become finer and capable of more suffering. In every society, we often find that the ignorant common man, when abused, does not feel much, but he feels a good thrashing. But the gentleman cannot bear a single word of abuse. He has become so finely nerved. Misery has increased with his susceptibility to happiness. This does not go much to prove the evolutionist's case. As we increase our power to be happy, we also increase our power to suffer. And sometimes I'm inclined to think that if we increase our power to become happy in arithmetical progression, we shall increase, on the other hand, our power to become miserable in geometrical progression. We who are progressing know that the more we progress, the more avenues are.
Okay. Here, complete. More avenues are open to pain as well as to pleasure, and this is Maya. Now let me give another example. Like people previously, say two forest men are fighting. They would kill one each other maybe. And people thought, okay, let there be progress, and we progressed. How we progressed? Now a single button may kill millions. So the point is, good and evil, it is not that good is always increasing, evil is decreasing. Rather, if good is increasing in mathematical progression, then misery also increasing, say, the, what is that? Geometrical progression. So these both are increasing. We have, yes, pleasure, lots of pleasure. You see, like previously, people used to go to movies once in a while, maybe in a month or in a year. Now every day they are watching movies. But what is happening? They are being sacrificed and they are suffering. And they cannot take away eyes from the screen. So, it is not that only good is increasing, rather whatever good and evil, it's a mixture. Here, misery also is increasing. Swamiji is giving example, another example. Our forbearance is less and less. Even people, if insulted, they commit suicide. But previously it is not the case. Okay.
Continue, Swami?
Yeah.
Okay. Thus we find that Maya is not a theory for the explanation of the world. It is simply a statement of facts as they exist, that the very basis of our being is contradiction, that everywhere we have to move through this tremendous contradiction, that wherever there is good, there must also be evil, and wherever there is evil, there must be some good. Wherever there is life, death must follow as its shadow, and everyone who smiles will have to weep, and vice versa. Nor can this state of things be remedied. We may verily imagine that there will be a place where there will only be good and no evil, where we shall only smile and never weep. This is impossible in the very nature of things, for the conditions will remain the same. Wherever there is the power of producing a smile in us, there lurks the power of producing tears. Wherever there is the power of producing happiness, there lurks somewhere the power of making us miserable.
So this is Maya. This is the statement of fact. We experience. It is not that we should read here, then only we experience misery. We experience. So how to get rid of it? Only to discover that we are not touched by this. So this can be achieved through devotion, yes, but this also can be achieved through knowledge. And it is as simple as suppose you are sleeping and somebody calls you by name, Venetian, and immediately you say, yes, yes, what can I do for you? So it is like calling a person and immediately it is understood. Similarly, one can understand one's real nature when one understands the meaning of this Tat Tvam Asi, thou art that. So this is another way, that is path of knowledge, and it is very important. So let us cultivate. Whatever we understand, that's fine. So we'll start from 143. Abhyam Adhyaropapavad. Now, what we were doing in the beginning? Adhyaropa, superimposition. Now we want to desuperimpose. We want to remove that whatever we thought it is. So atatsmin tad buddhi. Whatever it is not, we think that it is. So let me read the translation. By this process of superimposition and reputation of the precise significance of that and thou is clearly determined. So this is adhyaropa apavadabhyam. So superimposition and desuperimposition. This is to be understood properly. So thou art that. So these three words, tat tvam asi. So other also are there, I am Atma Brahma or Aham Brahmasmi. So three words each. I am Atma, this self is Brahman. And Aham, I am Brahman. So three words, but it has great significance. That's why it is called Mahavakya. Now, Ajnanadi Samashti Etad Upahitam Sarvajñatvadi Vishishtam Chaitanyam Etad Anupahitam Cha Ete Atram Taptaya Pinda. So example is given, Tapta Aya Pindavat. To explain collective ignorance and the rest, consciousness associated with it and endowed with omniscience, etc., as also pure consciousness unassociated with any attribute. So three things. One is ajnana, ignorance, and all its evolutes, 24 cosmic principles. Ajnana, and ajnana is, the evolutes of ajnana is 24 cosmic principles. We have already studied. What are those? 5 karma, the avenues of work, 5 avenues of knowledge, 5 elements, and 5 pranas. This is 20. And mana, mind, intellect, buddhi, mind stuff, chitta, and ego, ahamkar. This is the whole thing. The whole universe is reduced into 24 cosmic principles. Now here, everything is mixed up here. So if we see like this, who am I? So we think this body is me. And then sometimes we think, no, mind is me. Because if somebody says something rude, then I am offended. He has not touched me. That means he has touched my heart. He insulted me. So that means I am not only body, rather mind. Rather, we are mind, not bodies. Why? The body idea lives in our mind. We think that I have a body. As of now, we think as I have a body. But when you go to sleep, you forget that you are a body. But then you are in dream. So you have maybe a dream body and dream scenes, so you enjoy that. You forget this physical body. So we are not limited with physical body. This we can understand. But as of now, everything is mixed up. So we are to be sharp and separate all these. What are these? And ultimately there will be a joke, and you have to understand, oh, this is it. So now comes three things are joined. What are those? Ignorance. Ignorance means what? 24 cosmic principles. Then the consciousness associated with ignorance. Consciousness associated with ignorance. Let's say, suppose, when I observe this whole world, my body, mind, etc., etc., so this is ignorance. Simple. Because we do not know, so what are these components? So we found 24 cosmic principles. So it is ignorance. And this ignorance is being witnessed by somebody. That's the me. That's the person. So ajnana upahita chaitanya. Consciousness um, which is associated with ignorance. And unassociated ignorance. Unassociated consciousness. So three things. Ignorance. Ignorance means 24 cosmic principles. And then associated consciousness with this 24 consciousness. That's why I'm talking to you. And there is unassociated. If you just, when you meditate, what happens? That time, suppose you concentrated totally, then what will happen? You will not have body idea. You will have no mind idea. But still you have that I am there. I am there. So that means at that time you are conscious, but conscious of some ego, mature ego maybe. So mature ego, but as of now it is immature ego. That time, mature ego and with consciousness. But at the same time you also can experience there is another entity within who is watching everything or not watching. Say, example, this house. So this house is in space. So house is one thing, we call it ignorance. And space associated with this house, we call it, say, like this individual. And a space is there which is not associated with it. Say I'm speaking. When I am speaking, before that there is silence. And after also it is silence. In between also it is silence, only I am breaking that silence. Can you see that? So one thing is my speaking. Second thing is speaking with awareness, the consciousness. And third thing is untainted, unassociated consciousness. So these three things. Now example is given like a iron, hot ball of iron. So iron is there, then heat is there. But heat dissipates. So that means something like this. I gave this Akashavat, this is better. So there also three things are there. So we call it ignorance, and then associated consciousness and not associated consciousness. We had to find which is unassociated consciousness. As of now, everything is mixed up. So this is what I'll read that. Hopefully, it will be understood. Collective ignorance and the rest, and the rest means all other 24 cosmic principles. Consciousness associated with it and endowed with omniscience, etc. As also the pure consciousness unassociated with any attribute. These three, when appearing as one and inseparable like a red hot iron ball, becomes the primary meaning of the word that. That. God is sitting somewhere, that's a that. So what is that? 24 cosmic principles and associated with that. So all the houses, all the universe, all forms associated with that. So it is collective and unassociated with it. So that is that. And what is this? Etad upahita, etad adharabhutam anupahitam chaitanyam tatpadam lakshartha bhavati. Now one is, the first one is, this is shabdartha, word meaning. Now lakshartha, what is lakshartha? When I am speaking, oh God, though it is all mixed up now, but I am indicating that which is not associated. The unassociated consciousness, which is the substratum of the limiting adjuncts and of Ishvara, which they limit, is the implied meaning. So one is Shabdartha. Shabdartha means word meaning, and one is implied meaning. So when I am saying God, always we mean that who is unassociated. But as of now, we are not conscious about it. So this is two standpoint. Now, individual ignorance. Now, this God, now this Tat, that, now Tvam. So individual ignorance and 24 cosmic principles. So ignorance, it evolves into 24 cosmic principles. Associated with it and endowed with partial knowledge. So I have little knowledge that I know. Oh, I know that I don't know. This is also knowledge. So, and in the case of God, it is sarvagyata, He knows everything. As also pure consciousness. So we have these three together. This body-mind complex and this whole world, whatever we experience, and consciousness associated with it, and unassociated with it. So these three are all mixed up. Right? Individual ignorance and the rest, consciousness associated with it and endowed with partial knowledge, etc., as also the pure consciousness unassociated with any attribute. These three, when appearing as one and inseparable like a red hot iron ball, become the primary meaning of the word thou. So primary meaning, Shabdartha. Shabdartha or Bachyartha we can say. Bachyartha. Now secondary meaning, that means implied meaning. What is that? The unassociated transcendent consciousness, the inward bliss, which is the substratum of the limiting adjuncts. So, see, I am a person. What is this person? So it has some qualities, I mean body and mind, etc., etc. But there is something which is unassociated. When we say, I am saying, I understand. So actually we imply that, but we don't understand. So the unassociated transcendent consciousness, the inward bliss, which is the substratum of the limiting adjuncts and of the jiva, which they limit, is the implied meaning of word thou. So two things, all taken together, it is primary meaning. But indicating what really meaning, that is implied meaning, secondary meaning, implied meaning. So when I say tat, so as of now we don't know where God is sitting. Hmm? But actually we imply that who is unassociated with anything, who is impartial, who abides everywhere, who pervades everywhere. We understand uh, this instinctively. Similarly, when we say I, so we don't understand. We understand I means this body, I means this mind, I means intellect. But actually, we imply our real self. But we don't understand. So we have to try to understand this. Is there any question up to this? Yes, go ahead. No, thou art, yeah, art. Thou art that. Yeah, that will imply, will come. That is why we are proceeding. But no, 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 no. Huh? Art. Art unifies. Thou art that. So two are poles apart. One is with universal knowledge and unassociated association. One is individual and with limited adjuncts. So these both are unified. So art is unifying agent. As of now, we have two situations. When I say thou art that means everything mixed up here, everything is mixed up there. But we mean in reality that that purest one and this purest one, both are one. Okay. So implied meaning and primary meaning. Primary meaning and implied meaning. Am I clear here? Anyone? Akshay? Eh? Okay, it means
Yes.
okay. We proceed then. Hmm? Let me repeat a little
What
in gist. Huh?
what is the me consciousness associated with partial knowledge?
So you, say like individual, I with partial knowledge that I know a little, alpagyata, kshudratta, I am small. Say when I say Akshay, so we understand is small. But when we say Akshay, everything is mixed up. One is primary meaning is everything is mixed up. Implied meaning is I address real Akshay. And when I say God, so everything is mixed up. That's primary meaning. And implied meaning is I am talking about who is purest of pure. No, no taint is there, not associated with anything. So these two are one. Thou art that. So this we are to come. Okay. Atha Mahavakyartha Varnyate. Now being said, what is now here a little exercise of mind will be there. So be alert. Idam tattvamasi vakyam vakya sambandha trainavi akhanda artha bodhakam bhavati. Now, three relationships are there. Now is being described the meaning of the great Vedic dictum Mahavakyam. This dictum is a proposition conveying identity by virtue of the three relations of its terms. So thou art that. So thou and that. In this sentence, there are three kinds of relations. Okay? Now let us go. So what are those three relations? One is Samanya Adhikaran. Samanya Adhikaran means both mean the same. So ground is the same. You and me actually are one. Why? Because we are on the same floor. Where you are human being, I am also human being. Okay, let us start from there. Okay, so one is Samanya Adhikaran means where one stands. Say like this. It means the same, similar. Samanya Adhikaranam. So, three relations are Samana Adhikarana, Samana, not Samanya, sorry. Samana Adhikarana, Adhikaranya, or the relation between two words having the same substratum, standing on the same ground, similar thing. And Visheshana Visheshya Bhava, that means, or the relation between two words qualifying each other. Like we say, it's a beautiful flower, or it's a red flower. So flower is one thing, red is another thing. So redness belongs to the flower. Redness belongs to flower, right? So red is qualifying flower. If the flower is beautiful, beauty is being say adjective of the flower, right? So this is Visheshana. So Visheshana Visheshya Bhava, the relation between two words qualifying each other so as to signify a common object. Both are common object. Now third, Lakshya Lakshana Bhava, or the relation between two words and an identical thing. So as Tat Tvam, both are indicating to same, indicating, implying identical things like implied by them. Here, the inner self. Taduktam Samanadhikaranyam Samanadhikaranyam cha Visheshana Visheshata Laksha Lakshana Sambandha Padartha Pratyagatmanam. So now this self. Compare. So he is comparing the relations are the relation between two words having same substratum. Two words, same substratum, and between two words qualifying each other so as to signify a common object. Like whatever is red, the same thing is flower. So this redness and flower and redness, qualifying, that is one thing, it is not two things. And the relation between two words and an identical thing implied by them. So two words are there, but what they are implying, same thing. So one relation is called, both are standing on the same ground, I'm replacing word. One is qualifying each other, but same thing. One is implying by two words, same thing. So three relations. Is it clear? Now, Samanadhikaranam. Now example. Suppose you met a person. Oh, Tom, you are the same Tom I saw 20 years back. So what is there? Now various relationship will be shown. So Tom, when he was child, no mustache. Now after 20 years he has grown mustache and now he's a professor. So mentally also he has increased. That time he was a mere child. So two people, actually same people, two situations. So here, samanadhikaranam. Yatha soyam devadatta. Oh, you are the same devadatta. Samanadhikaranya is the relationship between two words having the same locus. For instance, in the sentence, this is that devadatta. So, tat, tat, tvam, tat, tvam, asi. That devadatta, it is you. Oh, this devadatta is that devadatta. Same. Similarly here also. Okay. For instance, in the sentence, this is that Devadatta, the word that signifying Devadatta associated with the past and Devadatta associated with this. Let me read. This is that Devadatta, the word that signifying Devadatta associated with the past and the word this signifying Devadatta associated with present. Both refer to one and the same person called Devadatta. Clear? Both are same. So this is Samanadhikarana. Not two people. Similarly, in the sentence thou art that, the word that signifying consciousness characterized by remoteness, that remote, we don't know where he is sitting. Remoteness and remoteness with other things also, like he is all knowing, then he is all pervading, all kinds of things. And this, thou, that signifying consciousness characterized by remoteness, etc., and word thou signifying consciousness characterized by immediacy. That means this here, pratyak, pratyak. It's not parak. Immediacy, etc. Etc. means I am alpagya, I know little, I am small. So two looks like two different people, but actually it is the one. It is one. Characterized by immediacy, etc. Both refer to one and the same consciousness. That means Brahman. Now, this is what? Samanadhikaranya. Both are same. This is Samanadhikarana. Now, Visheshana Visheshya Bhava. The second relation, that of Visheshana Visheshya Bhava, is this. In the same sentence, this is that Devadatta. The meaning of the word that is Devadatta existing in the past. So past is his qualification, past. And Devadatta here now, it is present. So the meaning of the word that is Devadatta existing in the past, and the meaning of the word this is Devadatta existing in the present. They are contrary ideas, but still they qualify each other. Past, that, and this. So present. So this qualify, the qualification is only one person, Devadatta. So this is Devadatta existing in the present. They are contrary ideas, but still they qualify each other so as to signify a common object. Similarly, in the sentence, thou art that, the meaning of the word remoteness and all knowing and all pervading, etc., etc., They are contrary ideas. And this is small and small knowing. I mean, uh, no, does not know more. They are contrary ideas, but still they qualify each other so as to signify a common object. So this is Visheshana Vishesha. That means qualification. Similarity on the basis of qualification. The previous one, similarity on the basis of standing on the same ground. Same thing. So this is two things. Now, third, Lakshya Lakshan Bhava. At least first we should know what is the relationship. This way, our thinking capacity also will increase. Eh? Not to worry. Now, Lakshya Lakshan means something is being implied. Oh, this is implied. Like I said a joke, so it implied something else. And we are sorry about that, New Zealanders. So Lakshya Lakshana Bhava. The third relation, that of Lakshya Lakshana Bhava, is this. In that very sentence, this is that Devadatta, the word this and that, or their meanings by the elimination of contrary association. It's the same Devadatta. So contrary implied meaning is the same. So three relationship. One, they are on the same ground. Second, the qualifications implying the same person. And here it is the implied meaning also is the same. So three relationship. Past and present time, and stand in the relation of implier and implied with Devadatta. So Tat implies the consciousness, unassociated consciousness. And this unassociated consciousness. So both are unassociated consciousness. There is no difference between outside Akash and this Akash. Space. Outside space and this is space. Same. But we think, oh, it is separate. This in the room. This outside. These are mental barrier. So this is knowledge. It removes all barriers and empowers man. See, people, if I ask you, can you handle this electricity? No, Swami, I'll get a shock. But a person comes and plays with it. Why? Because he knows the trick, how to handle it. So it is better to know. And this is fundamental. We can avoid knowledge about electricity or anything. We cannot avoid knowledge of our own self. Okay? So three relationship we have discussed. Let me read it again. The third relation, that of Lakshya Lakshana Bhava, that means implied meaning, is this. In that very sentence, this is that Devadatta, the words this and that, or their meanings, by the elimination of contrary association. Contrary association we are eliminating. Of past and present, stand in the relation of implier and implied with Devadatta. So implier means when I say that and this, that's implying. What is implied? Implier and implied. That's implier and implied. What is implied? The Devadatta. Same Devadatta. So Akasha, outside Akasha and this Akasha. What I am implier? What is the implier? Outside and inside. What is implied? Akasha. Akasha is the same. So, similarly, in this sentence, thou art that, also the words that and thou, or their meanings, by the elimination of contrary associations of remoteness and immediacy, etc., stand in the relation of implier and implied with consciousness, which is common to both. So we have done a great job. Eh? No, no, at least exercise, we have done a great exercise. What happens when you go to gym? You lift something 20 times, you push something eh, 25 times. Nothing happens there. Nothing happens to dumbbells or barbells. They're dumb. But here, muscles will be built. So here, muscle will be built. That will give you, all the time I am small. I cannot do anything. No, you can do a lot. You understand a lot. So this confidence will come. Okay. Akshay, is that clear up to this?
Like, what is difference between Samanya Adhikaran and Lakshya Lakshan?
Very good. Okay. Samanyadikaran means simply they are on the same ground. Okay. The example, let us go back. Samanyadikaran. Samanyadikaran is the relationship between two words having the same locus. For instance, in the sentence, this is Devadatta, this is that Devadatta, the word, that signifying Devadatta associated with the past. So time is the same standing, past and present. On the same ground of time, they are standing. Say, Akshay and me, both are human beings. So this is same ground, same locus. An implied meaning means that remoteness and closeness is removed. Only implied meaning is consciousness unassociated with anything. Consciousness unassociated with anything. Say outside space and inside space. We have in the beginning we discussed that inside space is one is associated, another is unassociated. Outside, unassociated. So both are one. So implied meaning is what is implication, removing all adjuncts, all qualifications. What is being implied? That unassociated with anything. Okay, you and me. As of now, I am a monk, so this body, mind, etc. And you are a student, you are studying in a school, a college, etc., etc. Remove all those. You are conscious, I am conscious. So this is implied meaning. So this consciousness is associated with this body-mind complex. But think of that which has no association at all. That must be one. See, you are understanding this. How? Because you have same way of understanding. We are on the same vibration. That's why we understand. So one is we are standing on the same plane, and essentially we are one. Okay. Yeah. Do you have a book? Or I can send you that electronic copy.
I have.
So you can read it, or those who have, those who want to understand in a proper way. But it's confusing. The way I am speaking, that's different. Otherwise, I'm making faces, like gesturing, posturing. Okay. No, yeah, you can understand. Like if you read 2, 3 times, it will be okay. Okay, so today I think enough for the day. It's a great thing. So some exercise. Eh? Ha. Yeah, the relationship we have finished. Now the real thing will come. That time you have to understand. Okay? Okay, no problem. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Tatsat Sri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu. Thank you. Jai Ma, Jai Ma. Thank you all.
Swamiji.
Pranama.
Namaste.
Namaste.
Jai
Swami.
Swami.
Jai Ma. Withstand this. If you can withstand, that will be okay.
I can withstand. I'll just put New Zealand on my back.